Hey, it's Dustin from Parts Doctor. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to replace the front roller axle on this Maytag dryer. These instructions also apply to some other great Whirlpool manufactured brands such as Kenmore, Amana, and more. It's super simple. I'll show you step by step, so let's jump right in. The roller axles attach to the dryer's frame and support the drum roller wheels. Some dryer models have two roller wheels and axles located only on the rear of the dryer. On other models, like ours, have a total of 4, with 2 in the rear and 2 in the front. The axles are made of hard, smooth metal that allows the self-lubricating bushings on the inside of the roller wheels to spin freely, which helps the drum rotate smoothly during operation. If the axles become damaged or pitted, or they just get dirty from buildup, the wheels may not spin properly, which can cause noises during operation. In this video, we'll show you how to clean the front roller axles if they're dirty and replace them if they're damaged. You can watch our other video showing how to replace the rear axles. Before we get started, when shopping for a new roller axle, we strongly suggest avoiding cheap aftermarket parts. These knockoff parts are made with low-quality materials that will wear out faster and cause damage to other parts, like roller wheels. If you need to purchase a front roller axle for your dryer, you can check out our website, partsdoctor.com, where we sell parts for all major appliance brands. Here at Parts Doctor, we only sell authentic, genuine parts sourced directly from the manufacturer. The front and rear axles on this dryer are different parts that have different threads and are different part numbers. The rear axles are reverse threaded and the front axles are standard threaded. This is so the rotation of the drum does not loosen the axles over time. So be sure that you're purchasing the correct part for the front or rear of the machine. Tools needed for this repair: a 5/16 nut driver or socket, a 1/4-inch nut driver or socket, a needle nose pliers, Phillips head screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, a 9/16 socket or wrench, and locking pliers. Be sure to disconnect your appliance from the exhaust vent and power source before beginning. Be careful when working inside the dryer because the edges can be extremely sharp. This repair involves removing several different screw types, which can vary depending on your model and its manufactured date. Your appliance may differ from the one shown in this video, so it may help to have a simple system to keep each fastener organized to ensure they go back in the correct location. On the back of the dryer, use a 5/16 driver or socket to remove the 2 screws holding the top panel in place. Slide the top panel back about 1/4 of an inch and then lift it off of the dryer. Set it aside to be reinstalled later. Inside the appliance, locate and trace the wires coming from the control panel to the control board. Disconnect the connector from the control board. Be careful as to not damage the wires or the control board itself. Using a pair of needle nose pliers, gently squeeze the push mount wire retainer and push down to remove it from the dryer's frame. Using a 1/4-inch driver or socket, remove the 2 screws towards the front of the dryer that hold the touchpad in place. Gently lift the touchpad and control panel as you rotate the top away from the dryer. Make sure to guide the wires through the front of the machine. Locate the mid-junction connector for the door switch inside the dryer and disconnect it by lifting up on the small tab. You may need to use a small flathead screwdriver to release the tab properly. Tilt the dryer back and place a support underneath to be able to access the bottom edge of the machine. In our case, we're using a 4x4 wood block. Remove the 4 screws on the bottom edge using a 1/4-inch driver or socket. Once the screws are removed, remove the support from underneath the dryer and carefully set the appliance back on the ground. Open the dryer's door and remove the 2 screws below the opening using a Phillips head screwdriver. Close the dryer's door. At the top of the front panel, remove the 3 screws holding the panel in place. Lift the front of the panel up and away from the dryer. Gently work the electrical connectors through the front of the machine as you remove the front panel. Carefully set the front panel aside for reinstallation later. Back at the control board inside of the dryer, disconnect the drum light from the ACU by depressing the retainer on the connector and pulling it to remove. You may find it's easier to use a needle nose pliers. At the front of the dryer, remove the 2 screws on the top of the control panel bracket and the 2 screws on the front of the control panel bracket. Lift the bracket from the appliance. Disconnect the wires to the moisture sensor by pressing the two retainers and pulling the wires apart. Using a 1/4-inch driver or socket, remove the screw towards the bottom of the dryer holding the air duct retainer clip in place. Rotate the clip towards the front of the dryer to remove it. Remove the 4 screws holding the front bulkhead in place. Lift the bulkhead up slightly until it becomes free from the retainers on the side panels of the dryer. Lift the bulkhead out from the machine and carefully set it aside. Once it's removed, lay the bulkhead flat on a counter or table with the rollers facing up. There are 2 front roller axles on the bulkhead of this dryer. The replacement process is similar for both, but if you are replacing the center axle, the dryer lint duct will need to be removed. We'll show that process later in the video. Using a pair of needle nose pliers, grab onto the side of the tri-ring and gently pull to remove it from the axle. These tri-rings are designed with a plastic pull tab to help move the clip. Only lift the side of the tri-ring as far as you need to free it from the groove and slide it off. Set it aside for reinstallation on the new axle later. Slide the roller off the axle and inspect the internal bushing area and the outer wheel. If the roller is damaged, now is a great time to replace it. Using the same process as before, remove the rear tri-ring and set it aside. Clean the axle with a soft cloth and check for damage. If your axle has buildup that won't wipe off, you can use a fine grit sandpaper to attempt to remove it. Lightly sand in a circular direction to match the direction that the roller wheel spins. Avoid applying concentrated pressure, which could cause flat spots, and be sure to only remove as much material from the axle as needed to remove the buildup. If you notice that your axle is pitted or damaged, you will need to replace the roller axle. Damaged roller axles will cause the drum rollers to wear out prematurely. On the other side of the bulkhead, you will see where the axle attaches to the bulkhead. The center axle is attached behind the lint duct. To remove the lint duct, remove the 3 1/4-inch screws. Slide the lint duct down and be careful not to tear or damage the felt seal. Remove the lint screen if you haven't already. Use a 9/16 socket to remove the roller axle. If the roller axle and the nut turn at the same time, you can grab the very end of the roller axle with a set of locking pliers to hold it while you remove the 9/16 nut. Once the nut is removed, slide the axle from the bulkhead. Set both the washer and the nut aside for use on the replacement axle. The old axle can now be discarded. If you need a replacement drum roller axle, avoid cheap, low-quality aftermarket parts. For parts that perform better and last longer, choose OEM genuine parts like the ones that we sell at PartsDoctor.com. We've included a link in the description below. Be sure to search for the full model number from the tag on your appliance to find the exact part. To install the new drum roller axle, first put the tri-ring over the threads of the axle and into the groove before installing. Then slide the washer onto the roller axle and insert the axle into the mounting hole of the bulkhead. Start the nut on by hand to prevent cross-threading. While holding the axle, fully tighten the nut. You may need to grab the end of the roller axle with a pair of locking pliers to hold it. Do not attach the pliers where the wheel will rotate, as you can damage the axle. Before flipping the bulkhead over, slide the dryer lint duct back onto the bulkhead. Be sure the 3 mounting holes line up and reinstall the 1/4-inch hex head screws. Reinstall the lint screen. Once the lint duct is reinstalled, flip the bulkhead over to reinstall the roller and tri-ring. Next, slide the roller wheel onto the axle and give the wheel a test spin. If it doesn't spin freely, the roller should be replaced. Reinstall the front tri-ring and be sure that the roller is secure on the roller axle. With the dryer disassembled, we recommend removing the drum to inspect the idler pulley, drive belt, and rear roller wheels. For more details on what to look for, you can watch our dryer maintenance kit video. Align the bulkhead to the front of the dryer and insert the heat shield between the drum and the dryer lint duct. Make sure that the drum is sitting on the 2 rollers on the inside of the bulkhead. Set the bulkhead onto the tabs of the side panels to hold it in place. Make sure the sides of the bulkhead rest inside the dryer's frame. Make sure the wires connected to the bulkhead lay over the top so they can be properly reinstalled to the control board. Reinstall the 4 screws that lock the bulkhead into place. Spin the drum clockwise once more to ensure that the drum is sitting properly on the front rollers and that the front felt seal is not folded over. Reconnect the moisture sensor and make sure that the tabs on either side of the connector are locked into place. Towards the bottom of the dryer, hook the air duct clip through the housing and rotate down so that the bottom of the clip rests on the dryer's frame. Reinstall the screw to hold the air duct clip into place. To reinstall the control panel bracket, align the retainers on the bracket with the slots on the side panels of the dryer. Insert the retainers into these slots and push down slightly. Reinstall the 2 screws in the front and the 2 screws on the top so that the bracket is locked into place. Align the front panel with the bulkhead and feed the door switch connector through the front of the machine. Lift the front panel up and set it on the retaining tabs. The screw holes on the front panel should be aligned with the holes in the control panel bracket. Reinstall the 3/4 inch screws that hold the front panel into place. Open the dryer's door and reinstall the 2 Phillips head screws directly below the dryer's opening and close the door. Once again, tilt the machine back and prop it up on a support. Reinstall the 4 screws at the bottom of the front panel. You may need to push up slightly on the front panel to get it to align properly. Remove the support and carefully set the dryer back down on the floor. To reinstall the control panel, guide the electrical connector through the hole in the front of the control panel bracket. Align the tab at the bottom of the control panel with the slot on the front of the dryer. Gently slide the panel into place. This may take some time and some finagling to get the panel fully into place. Reinstall the 2 1/4 inch screws. At the top of the machine, reinsert the push mount cable tie on the control panel's wire into its designated spot on the dryer's frame. Then, reconnect the electrical connector to the ACU. Be sure the connector is securely in place and will not come loose from the control board. Locate and reconnect the mid-junction connector for the door switch. Find the wire to the drum light and reconnect it to the ACU, making sure that it is securely locked into place. To reinstall the top panel, align it with the top of the dryer about a 1/4 inch offset from the control panel and slide it forward. Reinstall the 2 screws at the back of the dryer to secure the top panel into place. Reconnect the dryer's exhaust and power and run the dryer to make sure everything is working properly. Your dryer is now ready to use. Alright, that'll do it for today's video. As always, I'm Dustin the Parts Doctor, and remember, don't buy aftermarket junk. Make sure you get OEM certified parts.